Hi everybody, Jewel back with another super cool astrology video. And I wanted to talk about the opposition between the Sun and Neptune in Synastry. What happens when we see this pesky rascal of an aspect come up? So Synastry is chart comparison, where we put two charts side by side or on top of each other, and we can see the dynamic between two people. We can see how their planets interact, and it gives us a real good example, a real good window into how those two people are going to interact with each other in real life. So the Sun is our identity. It is our creativity. It is what we express and what we want to be seen as doing and appreciated for. And the Neptune in us is that characteristic that is romantic, that is forgiving, that is gauzy, that is not necessarily interested in the truth. We're interested in what we want. And it is a very illusory part of ourselves. So when these two meet in an opposition, and an opposition implies, that particular aspect implies projection. When they meet in this projection type of aspect, this is probably the most difficult aspect to see in Synastry between the Sun and Neptune, because of what Neptune is and how it behaves in an oppositional aspect. It's very blinding. So when we have these two meeting, the Sun person just wholly idealizes the Neptune person. And the Neptune person has this way of seeing in the Sun person these specific characteristics that in their minds they have always wanted in a partner, or they've always seen as this would be perfect in a partner. So it brings up these, they're not even unconscious, they are conscious attitudes, feelings, associations between who they're seeing, who the Neptune person is seeing, which is the Sun person, and what in their mind they've always wanted to see. And so it brings this sense of, you must be perfect for me because you have these specific qualities that I've always assigned to a dream partner or a perfect lover, and I see these in you. This must be love. And the Neptune person, the Sun person, casts upon the Neptune person what they think is the idealized qualities that they have unconsciously always assigned to a perfect partner. So one person is very much aware of, wow, you have what I've been looking for. And the other person is not so much aware of it, but they are putting that onto the other person in a more unconscious fashion. They are wholly under the impression, both of them on both sides, that this is the ideal match when we see this one. And it can lead to people into a position where they find out later that who they're dealing with, who they're really in the relationship with, is wholly different from what they thought they were getting. And we can blame each other for that. And we tend to project the qualities when we have heavy Neptune involved that we know the other person would like to see in us. We take those on. And so this is one that, puts two people in a position, excuse me, too many salty French fries, in a position where they can be, after a while, wondering who they're with because they didn't see what was in front of them. They saw what was inside themselves and projected onto the other person. So this one actually shows up very, very commonly in the charts of people who insist that they are in a twin flame union. And it shows up in Synastry charts where people are, you know, really convinced that they have found the one, and, you know, within 3 weeks they're already planning to have children, and they've planned their future together, and then, you know, 3 weeks later they're not even dating because there was this massive disappointment. So this one can, if we don't have stronger links, if we don't have some strong Saturn, if we don't have 2 or at least 1, probably 2, more concrete personalities that engage in this type of aspect, it doesn't tend to work out very well. But if we do have 2 people that are otherwise very practical and they wind up attracting, they probably aren't going to do that, first of all, with this particular opposition. But if we happen to see that, that is going to help a lot, because outside of this opposition, they're going to be asking questions. They're going to be paying attention to things. Their red flags are going to, you know, they're going to be seeing red flags and paying attention to those. Where when we have a lot of Neptune in the beginning of a relationship, we don't see those things. We don't want to see those things. And we excuse those things, and we forgive those things, and we let those things go. And it can lead us down a primrose path. And that is not a healthy path to be led down, because we tend to lead ourselves down it, and then we blame the other person. So it can lead, you know, Neptune, heavy Neptune starts out as sweetness and typically leads to bitterness, because we're not dealing with who we're really dealing with. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. You can find me on the internet at truthandaspectastrology.com. You can find me on Facebook at Truth and Aspect Astrology. Yes, I do private consultation, and I will be back super soon with more super cool videos. Bye-bye.